All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something every single one of us deals with all the time: product updates. But here's the thing: instead of seeing them as this annoying chore, we're going to flip the script and look at how to turn them into a serious strategic advantage for your website or app. So let's just start with a really big question right off the bat. Think about the last update you pushed. Did it actually build confidence? Or did it just create a bunch of confusion? Because every single update you ship, well, it's a moment of truth. It's a chance to either strengthen or completely shred the trust users have in you. The stakes are, no joke, incredibly high. And this quote, it just nails it. It gets right to the heart of the matter. Updates aren't just about lines of code. They are about the entire relationship you have with your users. They literally shape how people feel about your product. And you know what? They ultimately decide if someone's going to stick around or not. Okay, so this brings us to what we're calling the new rules of the game. The way we've thought about updates in the past, it's just not going to cut it anymore. It's time to move on from that old kind of broken mindset. Now check this out, because this slide lays out the shift perfectly. On the left, that's the old way of thinking, right? Updates are just some technical thing that happens in the background. It's a chore. But look at the new view on the right. This reframes the whole thing. It's a strategic responsibility, a key way you improve engagement and reduce churn. It's not a disruption. It's a golden opportunity to build trust. This is the mindset shift we need to make. So, where do we start? Well, you've got to know what you're dealing with. See, not all updates are created equal, and if you treat them all the same, you're going to end up with a mess. Bad communication, bad priorities, the whole shebang. First up, you've got your feature updates. These are the big ones, the exciting new tools and functionalities. For these, communication and onboarding are absolutely crucial. Then you have improvements or enhancements. You know, those little quality of life tweaks that make things faster or easier to use. They might seem small, but man, they add up and make your product feel so much better. Of course, there are bug fixes. Pretty straightforward. Something's broken, you fix it. This shows your users that you're listening and that you care about stability. And finally, security updates. Now, this is the stuff your users might never even see, but it is the absolute foundation of trust. This is you protecting their data and keeping them safe. Okay, so now that we know the types of updates, let's get into the how. This is the playbook, a simple, actionable process you can use for the entire lifecycle of an update, from the first idea all the way to measuring its impact. We're going to break it down into 3 really critical stages. First, plan and prioritize. Second, communicate clearly. And third, roll out safely. Just think of this as your go-to map for every single update you ship from now on. So first up, plan and prioritize. Look, this isn't about creating some rigid, dusty document that nobody ever reads. It's about having a visible roadmap so that everyone, product, engineering, support, is on the same page. And the key here is to prioritize based on a smart mix of user feedback and actual data, not just on who yells the loudest in a meeting. That's how you make sure you're working on the stuff that really matters. Step 2, communicate clearly. This is where so many teams drop the ball. You've got to match the channel to the message. A tiny bug fix probably doesn't need a massive email campaign. But most importantly, you have to speak your users' language. They don't care that you refactored a component. They care about what it does for them. You can now do this thing you do every day, but faster. That's what they want to hear. And finally, step 3, the rollout itself. The magic word here is safety. Don't think of this as a big, dramatic launch. It's more like a controlled experiment. You roll it out to a small group first, see what happens, fix the problems, then you go wide. And always, always have a rollback plan. Think of it like an escape hatch. You hope you never have to use it, but you'd be crazy not to have one ready. So, the update's live. We can all go home, right? Not even close. Honestly, the work you do after the launch is what separates the good teams from the truly great ones. This is where the learning happens. And you learn by measuring. Even before you launch, you need to know what success looks like. Is it more people using a feature? Fewer support tickets? You have to track that hard data, and then you combine it with the stories you get from real user feedback. That combination, that's the feedback loop that makes every single update you do in the future even smarter. Now, let's talk about a few common mistakes to avoid. Number 1, without a doubt, is poor communication. The truth is, users are actually pretty forgiving, even of bugs, if you just tell them what's going on. Silence is what creates frustration.
The second big one is just ignoring feedback. I mean, if a user takes time out of their day to report a problem and all they hear back is crickets, you've just broken their trust. And that is so hard to win back.
And finally, try not to cause update fatigue. We've all been there, right? The constant pop-ups, the user interface that changes every single week, it's exhausting. Every update needs a clear purpose, because sometimes the most respectful update you can make is no update at all.
So, where does all this lead us? Well, the goal is to stop thinking about updates as these separate one off events. The real goal is to build a reliable, predictable, and continuous system.
And that brings us to maybe the most important takeaway of all, captured right here in this quote. Your update system, it's not just a process on a whiteboard. It's a living reflection of your company's culture. It shows exactly how much you respect your users' time, their attention, and their trust.
And that really leaves us with one last big question to think about. I want you to look at your own process, your own communication, everything you do, and ask yourself, is your update system truly built on a foundation of trust?